I tried working in nearly every industry imaginable and eventually looked within instead of looking externally. And I found that when I learned how to dig deep and really find that level of self-discovery and self-awareness and self-actualization, I learned that I had to pursue an entrepreneurial path and create and be true to myself. So it snowballed, but it was a seasonal business. So every summer we couldn't really make enough money to survive. So I ended up living out of my 2006 Prius for 4 months, and I would shower at an Anytime Fitness that was local. I would run the business from, the storage unit, the commercial kitchen, my car. It was the one of the most challenging times because I didn't have, home base to relax. And then on top of that, I was so busy, I had to prepare for 7 markets a week. I had my windows blacked out so I could be in a parking lot and no one knew that I was sleeping inside the car. I had literally a solution for everything. The reason why I was able to run the business while being homeless was because of being systemized and organized, and then mentally always just being grateful and enjoying the little things.
But what is important is our mindset. And I think oftentimes people get caught up in the darkness of their circumstances that they don't actually see the light. What was meant to be a 3-month trip end up being 2 years, right? Like,
Life is too short, and everyone has their own path. And I really do feel like we're all inherently designed for our own path.
your emotions are a choice, and this is like when I'm like in the pit of anger. What you mean? Like I didn't choose to be this angry, right? But there is so much, we have so much more control over our lives, and it starts with the way that we think.
Your circumstances don't define you. They're just circumstances. It's temporary. And also, it also comes down to, not the destination, but the journey. So not, waiting to the destination, oh, when I make money, when I do this, when I do that, but just learning to enjoy the journey. Because for years I was always future focused in survival mode, like rushing here to work. Point of the story is to just not get down on yourself. As long as you're making the best choices that you can and learning from mistakes when you don't make the best choice, it is what it is. That's life.
Then you spend time working your way up the ladder in that job, and yeah, you do that for 40 years, and then you retire, and then now you have the permission to live your life.
Then I worked my way up in the hospitality industry. So eventually I was working for Ritz-Carlton, St. Regis, expensive restaurants in Miami. And so worked my way up in that industry. And it was a great industry, but it just, and I'm grateful for that chapter, but it never felt 100% right. So, with that being said, that's also when I started realizing that I couldn't compare myself to others because I have so many successful friends, attorney or, business owner in a particular industry or, realtor or, all these professionals who are a lot of millionaires, a lot of really successful friends, and I'm happy for them, but I can't compare because I wouldn't be happy with their path, even with that level of success. We can't compare ourselves. We just have to do us.
How can I go from making somebody money to actually helping somebody, to actually
Yeah.
changing the world in some way, in some small, tiny little way? Now, I don't usually think that happiness is the goal. I think contentment is because, you know, happiness is something different.
I don't like numbers. I'm not going to be a financial advisor. It was an endless search to find myself. So tried every job imaginable, construction, everything, like little gigs, assistant roles, so many funny stories, literally every industry.
One thing that is important to note is that our brain cannot resist a question, right? So when we ask these introspective questions that we may sometimes not have an immediate answer, our subconscious will be looking for that answer. And it happens all the time. You ask yourself a question and you find the answer 3 o'clock in the morning, 6 days later.
It's like, so that self-discovery time is so crucial. Most people never take time to, it's not taught in school. So we aren't, if you don't do it on your own, most people just kind of skip over that important chapter.
But I tell
Crazy.
you what, if I had a class around self-love, if I had a class around introspection and being able to get to know who I am, I think,
Oh yeah.
listen, I would have been so more advanced if it was actually taught in school.
So there's no road rage, there's no like the world would be a better place if we just were taught how to look within. It's called New Exist, Neuxist. So it's a wellness brand. So it's about transformation. It's a holistic transformation because it's not about fitness. It's not just about mental, growth and transformation. It's all holistic. And there's not a lot of systems or companies that bring it all together.
I love that, right? A lot of times we operate in a siloed way, which is not the way life is, right? Like everything works in tandem. Like
For
it's
sure.
about working on the whole body, and the whole body is not just the physical aspect, it's the mental, it's the emotional, it's all of that, right? And so I think that's a really good approach and will be highly impactful because we have to be holistic in the way that we approach life.
Just know that you literally can step out of survival mode at any point. It's literally just shifting your mindset instead of thinking, freaking out and being desperate and having that desperate energy and thinking, oh, I'm behind here.
You were not built to break, but you damn sure were not built to just survive. Disrupt the cycle, reclaim your life, and thrive on your own terms.